Hello everyone, this is Lalita ma'am and welcome to my virtual classroom. Hope you all have subscribed to my channel. If not, then please go fast and subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to get the immediate notifications. As in our previous video, we discussed about what is nutrition and what are the two modes of nutrition, and we also discussed about the autotrophic mode of nutrition. The autotrophic mode of nutrition in which the plants prepare their own food. Yes, organisms prepare their own food. That mode of nutrition is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition. And in today's class, we are going to discuss about the other mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So the topics which we are going to cover today are heterotrophic nutrition, parasitic plants and saprophytic plants. Now let us discuss about heterotrophic nutrition. Now what is heterotrophic nutrition? The mode of nutrition in which organisms depend upon other organisms. Like green plants, they prepare their own food with the help of with the help of process photosynthesis. So they come under autotrophs because they prepare their own food. But on contrary, the heterotrophic plants or the heterotrophs, they are dependent on other organisms. So the mode of nutrition in which one organism depends on another organism for food is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now the organisms that show this behavior, they are known as heterotrophs. So all the organisms which depend upon other organisms for their food, they are known as heterotrophs. So example of heterotrophs will be parasitic plants, saprophytic plants, insectivorous plants, and also all the carnivorous plants and animals. All the carnivorous plants and animals, those who consume other animals, those who obtain food from other animals or other organisms, they are known as heterotrophs or heterotrophic organisms. Okay, so the mode of nutrition in which organisms depend upon other organisms is known as heterotrophic nutrition. Now look at these slides, look at these images. In this image you can see the two examples of heterotrophic plants. One is Cuscuta and the other one is Indian pipe. Okay, we'll explore about these things one by one in the further topic. Now let us understand what are parasitic plants. Now plants that absorb food from other green plants, they are known as parasitic plants. Now as these plants depend on other organisms, so we can understand that these organisms or these plants cannot prepare their own food. And we also know that the condition or the necessary condition for preparing the food or for photosynthesis to take place is presence of chlorophyll. So definitely these parasitic plants, they lack chlorophyll, and as they lack chlorophyll, so they are non-green, they are not green, they are non-green in color. As chlorophyll is a green pigment that is present in the leaves, and chlorophyll gives green color to the leaves, which is very important for the process of photosynthesis. So these parasitic plants, generally they are non-green, and the plants from which these parasitic plants obtain the food, those plants are known as host plant. Suppose one plant is obtaining the food from other plant, so this plant which is giving the food to, or the plant that is providing the food to the other plant, that plant is known as a host plant. Okay, and this other plant, the parasitic plant, acts on or gets its food and other requirement from this host plant. Now as they get their food from the host plant, but meanwhile during this process they do not kill or damage the host plant. They simply get the benefit from the host plant without killing or damaging the host plant. So example of such parasitic plants are cuscuta and mistletoe. Now look at this image. In this image you can observe cuscuta and mistletoe. Now cuscuta comes under complete parasite and mistletoe is a partial parasite or semi-parasite, we can say. Now cuscuta is a non-green plant, so it doesn't have chlorophyll. It cannot make its own food. Okay, its long yellowish thread-like stems, which you can see here. You can observe it in the image. Now this long yellowish thread-like stems, it twins around the stem and branches of the tree, and on the tree on which they climb. Okay, now it has a special structure called haustoria, which purses into the plant body on which it climbs for absorption of the ready-made food which is prepared already by the host plant. So the host plant has already prepared the ready-made food, and this cuscuta, it twins around the stem and obtains its food. Okay. Now on the other hand, mistletoe, as I said, it is a partial parasite. So this mistletoe, this has green leaves. Okay. Now these green leaves make their own food. So mistletoe can prepare its own food. But then why does it come under parasite? So it comes under parasite because this mistletoe depends upon the host plant for not for food but for water and minerals, and which is required for synthesizing the food, for photosynthesis. Yeah, for preparing the food, water and some minerals are required. That water requirement and some other minerals that are requirement for the growth can be obtained from the host plant. So cuscuta is a complete parasite and mistletoe is a partial parasite. Cuscuta doesn't prepare its own food at all, but on the other hand, mistletoe is capable of preparing its own food. Now let us move to our next topic, that is saprophytic plants. Now what are saprophytic plants or what are saprophytes? Now the plants that absorb nutrition from dead and decaying organic matter. Okay, so these plants, they absorb or they get their nutrition from the dead and decaying organic matter, and the plants that absorb their nutrition from this dead and decaying organic matter, they are known as saprophytic plants. And as they are again non-green, that is why they depend upon other organisms or dead organisms or dead and decaying organic matter for their food. So as they are non-green in color and they lack chlorophyll. As they lack chlorophyll, that's why they are non-green in color. And usually they are white in color. Okay, usually they are white in color. But where do they grow? They grow in places where dead leaves, definitely, as they obtain their food from the dead plants and or decaying organic matter, then definitely they will be found where the dead leaves are rotting. Okay, now mostly they grow in deep shade in the tropical forest. Okay, so mostly they grow in the deep shade in the tropical forest area. Now let us try to go through the examples of saprophytic plants. Now look at this image. In this image you can see the Indian pipe and coral root, which are examples of saprophytic plants. Now how does Indian pipe get its food? Okay, now this suppose the tree obtains its energy from photosynthesis. Okay, now the fungi which is present in the roots of the trees, it obtains its nutrients directly from the roots of the tree. But this Indian pipe, it gets its nourishment through the fungi. Okay, so from the fungi which is present in the roots of the trees, from that fungi this Indian pipe gets its nutrition, and this fungi, we can call it as a middleman. Yeah, it acts as a mediator that processes the food delivery, which delivers the food to the Indian pipe from its green neighbors. Yes, so it acts as a mediator which provides food to the Indian pipe from the tree. Okay, so in this way the Indian pipe gets its nutrition. Now what about coral root? How does coral root get its food? Now instead of making their own food, as they are saprophytes, so they depend upon the other plants. Now then how do they get the food? Now what about coral root? So it also gets it has a rhizome, like which is known as underground stem. These are not the roots, but these are the underground stems. So coral roots have rhizomes, that means underground stems, which twins with the fungi present in the soil, and this helps it to get its nutrition. So in this way saprophytic plants obtain their nutrition. So we have completed the topic heterotrophic nutrition. In that we have completed the part parasitic plants and saprophytic plants. So we'll come up with a few more types of heterotrophic plants. Until then, bye bye and stay connected. Thank you.